Both the UFC women's flyweight and featherweight divisions are failing, but for opposite reasons. The featherweight division has some of the biggest fighters in the sport, but no depth whatsoever. In fact, the UFC only has 3 fighters currently listed as featherweights. On the contrary, with the successes of The Ultimate Fighter Season 26, as well as other fighters who struggled with weight issues coming into the division, the women's flyweight division has a healthy roster of fighters to run fights regularly with. Unfortunately, there are no big stars to bring any attention to this division that has so much potential. It needs a big fight or a well-known champion to help bring public interest to the other talented but lesser-known fighters on the card. I think Joanna Jędrzejczyk vs Valentina Shevchenko could be the fight to do this. Here's why. Before starting the sport of MMA, Joanna and Valentina were already both decorated amateur Muay Thai fighters, with Joanna winning 5 IFMA World Championships with a record of 37-3, and Shevchenko winning 8 World Championships with a combined record of 56-2 across Muay Thai, kickboxing and K1. They have both shown this striking pedigree inside the octagon, with Joanna widely considered to be one of the best strikers in the sport, who is the only fighter to land more than 200 strikes in 2 different fights. Her last 2 victories, she has outstruck her opponents by a combined 396 significant strikes to 133. Her European counterpart may not have been quite as emphatic on the feet so far, but she still employs a very impressive counter-striking game. Her fight against Holly Holm stands out as a highlight, where Valentina managed to outstrike her on the feet, a feat we have not seen managed by anyone else inside the UFC. Well, before the bell at least. With 2 strikers of this caliber coming face to face, this fight would certainly be fireworks. As I mentioned before, Joanna had a very impressive amateur Muay Thai record of 37-3, with all of these losses coming to the same person, Valentina Shevchenko, at the IFMA World Championships in 2006, 2007 and 2008. However, Joanna credits a lot of her current success to these losses, saying when asked, "I thought I knew everything, but after I lost to Valentina, I realized that there's a long way to go. I didn't give up. The experience which I got that time, I just became a UFC champion because of that." The past history between these two gives us the kind of grudge match with history that we don't get to see very often as MMA fans. This gives the fight a whole different dynamic that will make it even more exciting to watch. The UFC fanbase across Europe has been growing rapidly over the last while thanks to stars such as Conor McGregor, Michael Bisping and Joanna Jędrzejczyk. It's very rare that we get to see 2 huge European stars go up against each other, as there simply aren't that many in the UFC, let alone the same division. We saw a glimpse of it at UFC 205, where Joanna and Karolina Kowalkiewicz brought the Polish community out in force to Madison Square Garden. This fight could take it to another level though. Joanna and Valentina could bring eyes from both their home countries and all across Europe to the event, as well as eyes from the American audience. If this event was held at a European Fight Night or European pay-per-view event, it could do huge numbers thanks to the loyalty from their fan bases. This matchup promises to be a stand-up war, and with their huge fan bases, history, and the fact that they both used to fight at 125 pounds in Muay Thai, this could be the exact fight that the women's flyweight division needs.